Alright, for this feature match, we have Lightsworn versus TeleDAD, but I'm taking you guys back to the past, 10 years, actually 11 years into the past of TeleDAD format of November 2008. This is when Crossroads of Chaos came out, Plague Spreaders have been introduced into our decks, so Lightsworn now has a bit of a synchro engine, and TeleDAD is obviously super strong. Now, this is old school format. We are looking at Master Rule 2, so we do have a draw for turn. So on the left, we have Y, and on the right there is me, Tombox. This is the format which I became competitive, and Y chose Lightsworn as his deck of choice because he's a milling god. He mills whatever he needs. That's why he is there. So I open with a turn 1 breaker and set 2 pass. Now Trap, of course, super strong. Trap does shoot on the opening play because he has 4 more cards. I get to take one of his look at his hand, take one of his monsters and put it back into the deck. Now one card can definitely run me over, and that is going to be his Jane. So Jane has went back into the deck, and I have another set card. This is the format where TeleDAD is extremely strong. Some of you guys might be wondering, he has a Foolish Burial. Obviously he's just gonna play Foolish and get a draw from this. So he's gonna play Foolish Burial, he's gonna throw a wolf in there, he's gonna get a draw, basically a free body and a draw from the card of safe return. I go ahead and pay half my life points because I know what's in his hand. He has an Aaron, he has Christia, and that means he's gonna be stunned out for the turn because all he's gonna have is an Aaron, and he's gonna be forced to pass turn after this, but he's got a mill 3. Does he hit anything? Oh, okay, he hit 1 name, so we're mainly just counting names at this point. 4 names in the graveyard, JD can happen, and once JD gets dropped, JD back in is of course much stronger. And don't forget, this is the time when Ignition Priority was still a thing, so we had to keep that in mind when we're playing. So I'm going to proceed to set another card. Breaker, we'll have to take a risk because one of the Lightsworn's strongest feature is that they have triple honest, and battling is one of the most difficult things to do, but luckily he did not have it, and he's going to go ahead and take a little bit of damage. He's going to take 300 damage through from Breaker, and Breaker is going to remove his counter to pop his card of safe return. That card is so busted. Of course he would have it in his opening hand. And I'm going to pass turn. Man, my hand's really weak, but I know he has absolutely nothing. He's going to proceed to set cards. Set cards usually gives a tell. It's either a Raikou or it's maybe an Aegis. Some decks played Aegis because it wants to block out the targeting. Ultimately just nerfing Dark Arm so Dark Arm can't pop cards. Okay, well, I'm going to proceed to set another card. Well, this game is taking it slow. This is not like go summon Stratos and then play E-Telly and just go nuts, D-draw, Allure of Darkness. This one is a bit of a slower game since none of the draw power has been put into my hand. So I'm going to swing into, I take 300 attacking into an Honest. Now that I know he has an Honest, it makes it a little bit scary for me. He can put the Honest back into his hand, and then he can, of course, reset it to keep it face down to prevent some of the face-up based targeting. So I set another card and I pass turn. I'm pretty low on life. I'm at 37. He's going to go ahead and add it back to his hand in his main phase, and he proceeds to set another card. Perhaps it's the same. It's probably the same Honest. He hasn't drawn into his monster, and that's Solemn Judgment definitely paying off, buying me multiple turns worth of time, because ultimately, like I'm saying ultimately a lot, like mainly it's because I saw his hand for the Trap Dust Shoot. I know what to hit him with Solemn, and that's why I'm able to play like this. So now I'm going to go ahead and attack and kick his Necro Gardener back into the deck, which was the correct call, because if he actually had Honest, I would have kicked it back into the deck, and Aaron, of course, will be able to kick any monster that attacks that is in defense mode back into the deck. I'm just reading the card, just checking if it's like 6 Samurais, like Iro, where you need another 6 Sam name, and then I'm going to proceed to attack for 16. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Wow, I have done almost nothing that's related to TeleDAD, but hey, this is how the game goes. I guess Solemn Judgment was part of the big deal here. Giant Trunade, I gotta side that card out later on, and okay, put 2 Darks in there. Now in my hand, I believe I already have a Dark Arm Dragon. Oh, we get to see a summon of Garroth. Garroth, right now, as a Lightsworn monster in this day and age in Yu-Gi-Oh, probably not the best monster, but like back, oh, another Solemn Judgment has come down. I'm paying life like no tomorrow. I think I'm down to like, what, 1850? About 1850 or so. Wow, I am basically just trading life because I know I have like tempo in my favor. I have the momentum. I need to keep pushing, and all I need to do is somehow drop a Dark Arm Dragon. Remember, there is no Xyz, there are synchros, but there are no Xyz, so you got no tuners. You can't just throw monsters into the graveyard. This was a different time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where monsters need to have good standalone stats to play. They're not just bodies for you to act as material to manipulate the board. The game has come quite far, but that's why a lot of these old school formats, I know Zoo format, Necros format, Reborn Tengu, Synchro Plant format, those are all formats that people enjoy playing because it's still quite fun to actually play them because it wasn't like an immediate OTK. There's some level exchange. I'm going to proceed to tribute set a card, set another card, and okay, with 3 darks in the graveyard, I'm going to proceed to go ahead and summon out Dark Arm Dragon. Thanks for the mills, and I'm going to proceed to attack you for 16. I'm going to attack you for another 28. Dark Arm Dragon being 28, and naturally, it acted as a +3. Now, Dark Arm Dragon and Judgment Dragon in this format were both semi-limited because they were just ridiculous. It was Return Dad and old school Lightsworn before this. So I go ahead and mill Malicious into the grave. I got so much ammo. I'm just ready to go off and pop off everything. So on his draw phase, I go ahead and activate Crush Card Virus, tributing my Malicious, and I'm gonna blow up his entire hand, getting rid of everything. Oh my god. Back then, this is the old school Crush card, so the next 3 draws, he's basically gonna be crippled, but he's got nothing. He can't set that Honest anymore, because if he sets the Honest, Aaron's gonna kick it back into the deck, and now we have a swing, and Aaron, of course, has to mill 3 cards. And I have another Solemn Judgment, guaranteeing that he won't be able to play. I had triple Solemn Judgment in this game, and basically, with the tell and the full read of his hand from Trap Dust Shoot, there was no contest to be had right there. So game 1 goes to me. It's not really showcasing like the combos of TeleDAD, but it's also showcasing why TeleDAD was so strong with the back row plays. So why I believe he is going to be kicking off this game. He's going to start off with a Charge of Light Brigade. Charge was released in Duelist Genesis as the money card of the set. Milling a... what? Oh, okay, not that bad of a mill. He did hit a Plague Spreader in. And Plague Spreader usually just makes Goyo Guardian. And the Goyo battles kind of reminds me of the good old Big Eye trading card game. And okay, we see a Lumina ad. I'm going to wonder what he's going to do here, because one of the best openings back in the day, if I recall correctly, was Lumina into a Gyarados, or you can get double Lumina Gyarados to mill 10 cards, and basically you're ready to kill your opponent the next turn. In terms of traps, I believe they ran a couple of traps. Beckoning Light was the more notable one because they retrieved all their monsters, and with Card of Safe Return filling up their hand, it was very easy to kind of recover everything. But opening with just an Aaron, he just goes ahead and mills 3 cards, hits a Raikou. Now this is old school Raikou, where the 2 effects are separate. Okay, the 2 effects, because they are separate, you can choose to pop or not pop. Therefore, you can be blocked by Stardust or not. So I'm going to go ahead and activate Destiny Draw. Ooh, here we go. Draw 2 cards. Normally, you want to throw Malicious in the graveyard, I believe. And now we have ourselves... okay, okay, you know what? Let's not waste time. Double Rhoda. Now, Rhoda was at 3 in this format, which is why the deck was so consistent. You ran about like 3 targets in there. Normally, most people didn't run Diamond Dude. They ran Doom Lord because it offered you the removal against like Thunder King Ryo. Okay, so we got both Grepher and Stratos added. There's a choice to be made here. If you want to set up 3 darks, usually Grepher was the better monster to go for. Instead, I'm gonna go with Stratos. Stratos is going to add Destiny Hero Malicious. Do I have a D-draw? Do I just dump it into the graveyard using the effect of Dark Grepher? No, I do have a D-draw. Oh my god, this is just gassing. This is a gasoline hand. I'm going Ferrari here. This is like going super fast. This is like felony fast. Oh my god. All I need is like an E-Telly, and this is going through the roof. Like, even though he has an Aaron, I guess he can technically stop every single play with 1 Honest. That is the scary part. But if I have an E-Telly or anything like that and I have a Dark Arm Dragon, this game is over. But since I'm thinking for so long, I notice I have 2 spells in my hand at this very moment. Are they any of them emergency teleport? Anyways, I'm summoning out a Malicious. Zoning doesn't matter back in the day. There was no one playing like Senate Switch or anything like that, so no one really cared about zones. But I'm still playing as if zones matter, because you see me just spreading out all my monsters. Normally I just summon in the middle, and it's like more entertaining that way. But hey, just another level of... oh, so there is an E-Telly. Just another level of skill in Yu-Gi-Oh! So there is the E-Telly coming down. We're going to summon out Krebens. Our Krebon's our Tetris Master. He's like holding a bunch of little Tetrimos. And the best monster to go into in this particular case is not Stardust Dragon, but is in fact Colossal Fighter. Because Colossal Fighter can revive itself if it's destroyed by battle. If I'm going to be destroyed by battle by an Aaron, I'm going to... Oh, I actually go into Stardust! What is going on, Tombox? Okay, I might have another copy of something, because I'm immediately activating Malicious. So Stardust for the protection so that I can't get GD'd immediately. And... Okay, so there has to be something here. Oh, Monster Reborn. Okay, I'm gonna take his Plague Spreader, I guess, and that is why choose his target over my own, because if he runs DD Crow, he can Crow out Malicious, and Crow was a very popular side deck card at the time. So going for his Plague Spreader so that I can get myself a Colossal Fighter. There we go. Now I don't have to fear too much from his copy of Honest. So I'm gonna go ahead and swing. Now we gotta do some math here, because I have a Diamond Dude and a Malicious in my graveyard. Okay, so Diamond Dude and Malicious, both of them together add 100 each, and then he has 0. So 16 to my 32. So I guess he takes a 16, an 18, and a 25. That's quite some damage. That's halfway. But like anyone knows in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, as long as you've got a little bit of life points left, you can definitely make a comeback. But the comeback is gonna require him to get a bit more pacing, because he doesn't have all the names. Okay, card of safe return has been dropped. Oh boy. That card can generate so much plus. It's ridiculous. And it's semi-limited in this current format. So we're gonna go ahead and see a Lumina. Lumina does have a valid target, and this was actually the year where they fixed the required target ruling in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where before, people would just say Zombie Master, discard a card, summon Zombie Master, even though you have no cards in your graveyard. But then they fixed it so that you have to preemptively meet the condition before you can activate the card, because that was... Back in 2006, that's exactly what it was. People didn't need targets in the graveyard to activate effects. It was just like, oh, I'll have a target by the time I discard it. Anyways, he goes ahead and tries to target his Aaron. I chain DD Crow, like I said. Crow is a very popular card, but he did throw a Necro Gardener into the graveyard. That is one of the reasons why the deck can control the tempo in terms of the game, because blocking attacks is all really that matters, because as long as you have JD, you can blow up the entire board. So he's gonna go ahead and play Monster Reborn, target my card for some reason. He's gonna go ahead and take the Malicious. Okay, so the problem is the Colossal Fighter. So he gave up the draw from the card of save return to go ahead and use his Plague Spreader. Well, this is kind of ridiculous. Plague Spreader summons out of the graveyard, and then he has to put a card back to the top, and then he just draws that card again. Wow, what a free play. If he had like 2 card of save returns, guess what? Draw 2 cards. Wow, Pot of Greed much? Okay, so he goes ahead and synchros. I know exactly which monster he's going to go into. The monster that you would normally go into is Colossal Fighter at this point. Colossal Fighter to Colossal Fighter has one of the more interesting, more skill-based interaction. You have to be very smart about it, and that is one of the plays that distinguish between the really good players and the bad players, because chain links matter. If the attacking player attacks into the opposing Colossal Fighter, he gets to target 1 card in the graveyard and summon that warrior back out. You can target my Colossal, but then I'll target my own Colossal, therefore I'll just get the Colossals back. So he's definitely not going to do that. He's not going to ram his Colossal, rather he's just going to use that Colossal to take out some other monster. So we're just counting warriors here, so that I have my Diamond Dude, I have my Malicious, he's got a Necrogarda in there. Yeah. What is going on? So there's that Lumina that's still there. So one scary thought is that Colossal Fighter, like if you have 2 Colossal Fighters, you can never take your opponent's Colossal Fighter, because they'll just crash again, and then eventually your opponent will have 2 Colossal Fighters, and then they can attack for a game. Like the chain links works very interesting like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and lose my Stardust Dragon. I'm gonna take a bit of damage through that, because that Colossal Fighter is just so much bigger. So we're just calculating 1, 2, and then I believe there's a Necro Gardener and an Aaron in the graveyard. So that is, I believe, yeah, that's 32, I believe. Oh my god, he mills 2 Honest and a Necrogardner. So he has 2 Necrogardners in the graveyard. There's about 5 Warriors in the grave. I drew into a Destiny draw, not ideal. I wish I can just top deck that. So one of the plays of why people played like a Diamond Dude is that they would summon out a Diamond Dude, and then they use Plague Spider, put the D draw back to the top, and then activate Diamond Dude's effect, mill it into the grave, and then get an additional 2-card draw during the next turn. That was one of the plays. Now that I recall, yeah, it seems pretty good. It seems like, yeah, well, what are you gonna do with those dead D draws? Well, apparently that was the play for it. This is kind of scary thoughts here. That Lumina can't stay alive. The longer that Lumina lives with that card of safe return, it is not safe for me to play because he needs to dig into a Judgment Dragon, and Judgment Dragon is a great way to kill off Colossal Fighters. So I'm going to go ahead and sync off my Stratos into a Yugioh Guardian. I mean, I can definitely take the challenge here. I can take the Yugioh and just kill off that Lumina. And if I take the Lumina, I get an extra body. I top deck a card, so I am activating a Plague Spreader Zombie. Summon out Plague Spreader. That gives me 6 and 2. That's going to be another 8. That's going to be double Colossal. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if your opponent puts out double Colossal Fighter, this is like something... Well, I guess it won't even matter because this is not going to happen anymore. But make sure that you do not take your opponent's Colossal Fighter if they hit you. Because if they take your Colossal Fighter, what's going to be left is there's going to be 2 Colossal Fighters that belong to one player. So in terms of ownership, so then the last Colossal Fighter is just going to crash into the Colossal again. And both Colossals are going to activate and they're going to summon out each other. And now they're both fresh. So... here I'm thinking he has a card of safe return. And I'm trying to kill his Lumina. But on top of killing his Lumina, I'm trying to see if I could actually bait him into taking my Colossal Fighter. And seeing that he has a card of safe return, there's another option where, like, could I just like deck him out? Decking him out is also an option. Okay, so he goes ahead and uses Lumina's effect. And ditches the Wolf. I believe he's going to get a draw from card of safe return. He has a Judgment Dragon in hand already. I don't think he has the correct names. That's why he's not dropping it. I would definitely just drop it and just wipe the board right now. And he puts Colossal Fighter into defense position. Which is pretty smart. Because having it in defense position means I can't do the endless crashing, and the endless crash would, with the card of safe return, could mill him out. But he's smart enough not to do that. Some players like tend to like to bait it, to just talk about the play that they're gonna do and be like, yeah, I already won. Look, you're just gonna deck out with this combo. But there's obviously like they pretend to play your move for you, and that's not how it works out. I'm gonna go ahead and set another card. See, this is old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Where bluffing can still work. If that card... Oh, yes, mill that JD. But that set card, if it's a Raikou, it will kill my Colossal Fighter. But it's still worth the risk. Attack the Wolf for some measly little bit of damage. He burnt out most of his Necrogardner, so warrior count, the warrior that got added into the graveyard would be Stratos and Yugioh. And okay. Well, this is a foolish move, Tom. Okay, yeah, go ahead, kill the Lumina. Like, putting Lightsworn monster in defense position, all it tells me is that he doesn't have an Honest in hand. And please don't flip it. Nope, he did not flip it. So flipping it would have been a Raikou, and he gets them 3 more cards. This is like the classic matchup that you kind of see today, where you have a deck that's really reliant on the extra deck, and you have a deck that is solely relying on the main deck. Y switches his Colossal Fighter into attack position now. I guess he still gets to hit one of my face downs, and my face down is a Sangan. Sangan effect. At this point, you can add like DD Crow. That's like one of the better things to add, but I sadly already burned my DD Crow. I can add Psychic Commander. Psychic Commander was used mainly to make Black Rose, and another form of dark manipulation, because the whole point of TeleDAD is that you manipulate your dark so that you would have, well, exactly 3 darks for Dark Arm. Okay, we gotta get ourselves a Psychic Commander. I left Krebons in the deck just in case. So it's my turn to draw for turn. Now, 2 face downs, don't really want to hit it, and looking at the card to save for turn, I'm like, if I hit him, he'll get a draw. Okay, sure, he'll get the draw. But if I can deck him up, I'm going to attack Colossal Fighter. I'm going to target my Colossal Fighter. Oh, first bait. This is like a double bait play. I'm going to target my Colossal Fighter. Do you want to take my Colossal Fighter? Or do you want to target your own Colossal Fighter? And he read it. Oh my god, he gets a free draw from card to save return. I was like, damn it, he put it in defense position. Very smart. So I get to re-attack with both of these Colossals, but there's no real point now. I could take out the 2 face down cards, and that's about it, really. Attack. Now, I think the attacking could have been a bit of a misplay here, because attacking now, I'm loading up his graveyard full of names, and I gave him 2 additional names. He has Lumina, Adris, and Wolf. He's got 4 names. He's already got the JD. I have to set 1 card, and I'm going to pass turn. So he drops JD. Do I have a response? And this is turn player priority. Unless that's a counter trap, he gets to turn player ignition priority, destroy the entire board, and even put my face down, which was the Destiny. Oh, that's a Rhoda. I don't have any warriors left to add. He blows up his own Colossal Fighter, and now I am all from being in full control to no control. I take the 1,000. Or sorry, I take the 3,000. Oh boy. He's down to 200 life points, and I can't finish him off for the life of me. He mills 4 cards, it does not matter. I need to be able to clear a Judgment Dragon with almost no resource, because I already, even if I draw into Dark Arm is a dead draw. I have an E-Telly in my hand and a Breaker. I don't have enough damage to take out Judgment Dragon being 3,000. This is like the rivalry, like the rival deck. You got the 2,500 Stardust versus the 3,000 Judgment Dragon. Even with my alternative boss monster, Dark Arm Dragon, I can't get there. This game definitely swung into Y's favor. The moment I attack into those 2 monsters, it was over for me. He was being very smart. I get Breaker, and Breaker, go ahead, pop the card. And it's Beckoning Light. This is even worse. He's tossing another Necrogarnet into the graveyard. There's no way I can even attack over that Judgment Dragon anymore. And I believe he already has a Judgment Dragon that he milled, and he's going to add back an Honest, so therefore it's definitely going to be game at this point. There's no point lingering on this one. This one is pretty much a done deal. E-Telly. Oh, will I pull something out of nowhere? No. Oh, I see what I'm doing. This is quite pointless, though. I'm just making a Black Rose, blowing up the board. There is another card I could have went into, and that card is Psychic Life Transfer. I can gain some life points, but unfortunately I don't have a monster bigger than 3,000. The only monster that would match it would be a Colossal Fighter or a Red Dragon Archfiend. And I'm talking about like the, not like Red Dragon Archfiend Bane, I'm talking about like the classic Red Dragon Archfiend. Oh boy, well, you might as well just drop that JD now. I believe you can just drop JD and drop the Honest normal summon and just swing for game. Is it game? It is not game yet. He's actually still short 300 life points. I take them both 11 and 3k, so 4,100 damage. Oh boy. Top deck. Best top deck ever. No, it's game. I choose until Solemn Judgment. Could have used you earlier, man. Could have used you, old man. Okay, so game 2 goes to Y. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this old school, looking back into how the old school Lightsworn played. If you guys are enjoying it, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll try to do more old school games. I'm trying to rebuild my Gladiator Beast, because Gladiator Beast is also getting some support in the upcoming set of Chaos Impact. And well, I'm just traveling back into the past. Oh my god, Y starts off with... Oh, he forgot. Oh, he almost forgot to draw for turn, which is very important. mills a Kaiku. Kaiku was an interesting side against TeleDAD because it prevented them from banishing cards in the graveyard. And it was a pretty annoying monster, not gonna lie. It forced people to crash tempo-wise, and if they summoned it on the best terms, where they have a wolf and a copy of Kaiku, they get to banish your cards in your graveyard, and that hurts a lot. I don't know why people don't play Kaiku anymore. Very interesting. So we gotta see a Lumina. Lumina ditch a wolf to summon out a Lumina. Oh my god. And we're going to see a ditch of Aaron to summon an Aaron. So this is a 9-card mill play. And he's going to set a Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. The classic mirror to mirror. He plays Shadow Imprisoning, I play Light Imprisoning. Oh my god, he milled a double wolf. Remember when I said Y's really good at milling cards? Yeah, he mills like that. And he basically has 4 names already. So this is going to be a rough one for sure. Don't worry, that's not a 6 monster zone, that's just the graveyard. Oh yeah, this is the old school MST.TV map. This is the Master Rule 3 map. I don't have a Master Rule 2 map. I'm gonna Heavy Storm, I'm gonna take that. Oh yes, Heavy Storm taking out the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. This is gonna enable me to make some plays without being hindered, because the scariest thing is that if I activate my Malicious, I change Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, my Malicious will have no effect whatsoever. So we go ahead and summon out the Stratos into D-Draw. I added a Gores into my hand. Oh my god, I just showed him. Like, one of the worst feelings of TeleDAD, Malicious into like D-Draw into Malicious from using a Malicious. Now you're down 1 Malicious, but you can fix that. It's a fixable issue. All it takes is a little bit of Plague Spreader. Like, Plague Spreader added so much to the deck. As much as I enjoyed like classic TeleDAD without the Plague Spreader, and it was like just Gen 1 synchros, it just wasn't like it was just not the same. The moment you got Plague Spreader, your dead Malicious hands are like fixed. Allure of Darkness. The deck runs like what? How many double draw cards? We have 3 Allure of Darkness. We got 3 Destiny draws. We've got what, like triple Rhoda? Like the deck was just so consistent because already a quarter of the deck was just get more of your other cards. Oh, banish the Malicious. So now I'm actually going to be down to the 1 Malicious. Now there's an alternative way to play against Lightsworn, and I think this is the strategy that I'm going with. I'm going to go ahead and try to hit that Lumina. Is he going to save it, or is he going to keep it going? Now, one thing to note about this whole board is that his board's full. With a full board, I just need to defend. And I'm going to defend with, oh, so he's going to go ahead and attack with Wolf. I'm going to take that. That really does like 300 damage. I'm going to take 1,000. We take another 1,000. Attacking order does matter. You don't just like push your whole hand. According to how the old judges rule, if a player just pushes and attacks with all the monsters, the receiving player gets to choose which order it was because of various card effects that changes that leads to different kinds of advantage. So we're gonna take the 16. And now that I'm thinking about it, I think he caught on to what I was doing. But this could have also been a bluff play, but it was not a bluff play. I needed to summon out Gores, the Emissary of Darkness, and Gores was going to give me the Kayan token. The Kayan token would be 16/16, matching the stats of Aaron. So, unfortunately, that means his wolf. Like, a lot of people tend to like just swing with a bunch of stuff, and then they outplay you by not attacking with that last monster, therefore you would not be able to drop the highest attacking Gores. And he purposely didn't bother, because he didn't attack with the last wolf because he's just gonna tribute summon Celestia, and now he gets to pop 2 cards, mill 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god, all the names are there, but still his board is full, and I am in a bit of a bad spot. So he's gonna proceed to go ahead and mill another 9 cards. Oh my god, he's just dumping his deck into the graveyard. He's gonna go ahead and pass turn. So I'm at 41 because his last monster did not attack. I think he could have attacked anyway. I guess it made no difference, to be honest. So I drew into a Solemn, I believe. And with the Solemn, I believe after this format, Solemn Judgment started to go down in the count, so that started to get limited because triple Solemn wasn't exactly something fun to play against. I think in this current format now, I think triple Solemn is actually fine. There's just so many things that, oh, you stop someone's summon or someone's spell, they usually have a follow-up, or like there's a grave effect that follows up from there. Right now I'm counting his graveyard. I'm looking at like, hey, how come I haven't seen an Honest just yet? You have to count the Honest, you have to count the Necrogardenas, you have to count the resources, because Lightsworn has their resources basically publicly available and deducible based off of what's in the graveyard. And now I have to make a choice. We're gonna go ahead and activate Brain Control. Okay, I pay 800. This is old school pre-errata Brain Control, where I can take any face-up monster that can be, well, just, yeah, any face-up monster really. That can be targetable. I'm gonna take that Celestia. Now Celestia is a level 5 monster. Garoth, or Graganoth, is the level 6. I'm gonna tribute. Caius, Banish Wolf. Okay. Set 3 and pass? No, that can't be right. Malicious effect. Defend. That's my last Malicious, because I did do draw into Malicious earlier. Oh, pass turn. Y goes ahead. Oh, looking at his hand. Oh my god, he probably has JD. I'm expecting a JD. Alright, this is worth half my life. I don't think he has the right fairy count. He has a Christia. And he has a Celestia in the grave. He's counting his grave. If he actually mills all his Honest, he can just drop the Christia, and I'm basically dead. Because Christia is just going to add back Honest, and just go ahead and just get that swing in with no special summons available. That is why that Doom Lord is so important in games 2 and 3. So I think we'll side it. This is Plague Spreader. Okay, well then. Plague Spreader has been summoned by putting a card back to the top of the deck from the hand. He's gonna Synchro 8. He's trying to slow down his mill. This is one way of doing it. This is how we put the brakes on Lightsworn. That Plague is supposed to be banished, by the way. So he's gonna get Synchro into probably a Colossal. Colossal is such a powerful monster. And he gets to run over one of my dudes. And he can probably kick back my Malicious as well. But I just want to take damage. I don't mind it getting kicked back into the deck. Maybe I get to go into a D-draw and just try it out again. Okay. Oh, and Colossal also gets Solemn Judgment on the summon. So, like, summon has been negated and cost me more than half my life, and he's down to 1 card in hand. He's gonna battle phase, kick that Malicious back into the deck. Now that happens during damage, I believe, damage calculations. So. And this is old damage calculation where it's really confusing. Well, it's not really that confusing. It's mainly just Honest that kind of gets a bit of a get out of jail free card. 3. So he mills another 3 cards. This is a much more interesting game than just watching a bunch of people just blow up the board. Although as nice as it is. Oh, there we go. Yeah, yes. Get rid of that Plague Spreader because that's supposed to be banished. We're gonna go. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and summon that Creebuns that I left into the deck. Smart move. And I could either attack now to do maximum damage, or I can synchro. But like, if there's an honest, I am a little bit worried. So safe play, go into a colossal fighter. You know, everyone just mentions like Stardust being the key monster. It's colossal. It always has been colossal during the early days. And that came out in like a starter deck. I'm actually choosing not to attack because I want him to mill out. In fact, but the problem is I can't put Colossal in defense mode because I'll kick it back into the extra deck. So I'm forced to leave it into attack, giving him the option to kind of destroy his own monster to put it back into the graveyard so he can just save himself and perhaps draw into the next JD or draw into the Beckoning Lights. Oh my god, what are you going to mill? Why? Oh my god, he's doing deck counting. And just to summarize what he counted, he didn't see an honest, and he knows that I can dive because I'm at 8 to 25 from all those solemn. Like, I basically killed most of myself. So he milled out an honest and an MST because the MST is for like Light Imprisoning Mirror. But he did draw into an honest. You can see it in his hand right now. He has a charge. He has almost no cards left. If he mills this round, if he just didn't draw into it, I would win. But he attacks, and that is basically game. I can't take 16, and it's a Light Imprisoning Mirror. That is GG. Light Imprisoning does not stop cards in the hand, so Y takes the match. What is his last card? His last two cards? Does he get flipped that last card over? Yeah, his last card was still an honest, so even if he milled out all his cards, he still would have won. Well, congratulations, Y. You defeated me in my favorite format of 2008, TeleDAD. Oh man, well, I guess that's it. The summary is, well, Lightsworn, as long as they've got Necro Gardenas and they can drop JD, that JD is too big for me to handle. So game 1, I had triple Solemn Judgment. And of course the Trap Dust Shoot and the Crush card made it an extremely one-sided game where the Lightsworn player couldn't get his engine even started. Game 2, the Colossal Fighter battle, he grinded it out. I thought I had it, but then down at, well, 200 life points, I could not finish him off, and then Judgment Dragon was dropped, and I lost complete tempo. Game 3, I tried to go for a mill-based strategy where I tried to mill him out, but I failed to do so, and he actually managed to get his card through a gamble where all 3 Honests were still in the deck, and Solar Recharge managed to add the copy of Honest to take the remaining life points out of me, sending me to the Shadow Realm. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you guys enjoy these retro-based duels, you want me to do more of them, let me know down in the comment section below. I've been starting to rebuild all my decks. I went through my collection, going through it, gonna rebuild as many decks as I can because I really enjoy this game, and I hope that I can share some of the old school battles with you guys, so you guys kind of understand like how similar it was back like 11 years ago. And don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to help support this channel and become a Patreon member. And you can also check out the TCG player link if you're gonna pick up some Battle of Legends Heroes Revenge. That link right there, it supports us and it's really good for you guys, and it's a really good setup, especially if you're trying to bling out your deck, getting reprints, or trying to get into some B-Force, or whatever they are called, Battle Wasps. Anyways, that's all I got for this video, and well, I'll hope you guys hold on to your MST, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please drop us a like so we know we are doing a good job, and you can also subscribe to MST.TV for more fantastic videos by clicking on the button on the left. Don't forget to check out our partners at Imperium Duelist. They make really high quality mats, including some of my own limited edition release stuff. And if you want to check out one of our past videos, click here on the right. As always, don't forget to hold on to your MST.TV, and I'll see you next time.